My bad. Um, for some reason, it's having a. Okay, who wants to share some good news?
I hosted my
I'll
first.
share.
I'm sorry.
John, you go first.
Hosted my first open house on Sunday. I survived. I got 4 leads that I'm following up on this week. It was a great experience, and yeah, very grateful for the opportunity for that.
Awesome, awesome. Let me give you a quick piece of advice on that. Remember, if they stumbled into your open house, they most likely stumbled into somebody else's open house. So now you are, I don't want to say competing, but you kind of are competing with the experience they had when they went into those properties, right? So don't like wait till the end of the week to check back in with them. Send them a little video text, do something that they're not expecting. Offer them something like the 0+ lending with Keller Mortgage or something that will pique their curiosity to meet with you again. Make sense?
No, I planned on even. I was hoping yesterday, but certainly this morning, probably after Robin's call this morning, we'll follow up with all of them.
Yeah, exactly. And also put something in the mail, handwritten note if you have their address.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right? You may even put something in there that says, you know, like if you have their address, you could put it into a neighborhood nurture and send them like a snapshot of what that looks like so they can see that you're tech savvy and that you're diligent and consistent. Okay?
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Great
You're
points.
welcome. Okay. Who else? Anyone else want to share anything?
I'll share, Bill.
All right, go ahead, Markia.
I had the opportunity to speak with Jane yesterday about my listing. So she was able to give me a lot of good pointers, and I was able to talk to my client, and she's possibly considering home swaps. I'm gonna give her some information in regards to that. So I guess yesterday we talked about obstacles. So that was kind of something that I was worried about with the low inventory and us putting her house on the market. So I'll keep you all posted on that.
Beautiful. The other thing I want to chat with you guys, that's another good idea for you, John, actually, is, or for anyone that's hosting open houses and navigating the follow-up, is things like the home swap program through Knock, right? So oftentimes when you say something about an offering that you have and the other person doesn't say anything about that offering, they in their mind, they think it's exclusive to you, right? And so really what you should be pushing is, hey, I'm one of the few agents, in the local area. We have an exclusive relationship with Knock, and here's their program. If they have a home to sell, it may be something um, that's advantageous to them. And quite frankly, even if they don't use the program, again, it's just about getting in front of them. This is the magic week. Either you're going to get it this week, or you're probably not going to get it this week. Make sense?
Definitely.
And then as a commercial for Knock and for Keller Offers, both of those offering packages have a free certification process. So log on and get certified. Tell the world you're certified. You may get somebody that says, "Oh, what's this Keller Offers thing?" Right? Or what's this Knock thing? Let me look into it. Markia, what's going on with Knock? Oh, funny you should ask. Do you have any real estate goals I should be aware of? Right? I see
Oh,
that.
Bill, I have two more
That's
things. I
your
did
text
update my
once.
I did update my social media. And when I put that with Keller Williams now on my main page, a lot of people were like kind of writing me, so it kind of stirred up some things. So
Yeah, that's right there in the 48 or the fourth. I keep calling it 48 for some reason. The fourth
the
quarter
GPS,
GPS is making
yeah.
sure that all of your profiles on social media are updated, right? Where like, don't say you're still a student, for crying out loud. Like, get a picture that's not your glamour shot from 1994, right? I'm not speaking to anyone here. I'm just saying there are some glamour shots from 1994 on the internet, which are ridiculous, right? Okay, let's do a tiny bit of housekeeping and then we'll jump right into the pre-list and pre-qualification stuff. So today, we're going to be doing our launch mastermind from 1 to 2. It is a special time, so make sure you got that. And then I've got a ton of one-on-one coaching. So please make sure you come to the Zoom room right on time. And make sure that your numbers are already posted so we have some good stuff to talk about. Okay. Any questions on any of that? Tomorrow, Bold 100. Please don't say to yourself, oh, well, I'll never do 100 because I got a meeting at 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to participate at all. Please don't do that. Just come in and participate for as much as you can. Okay. If you got a meeting and you need to bail for a few minutes, no big deal. I've got a couple of meetings as well. So if your private coaching session happens to be on Wednesday and you want to focus on the Bold 100 and reschedule, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, let's do those couple of meetings over the telephone so we can keep the Bold room open. And then we're going to have a Canva class. Heather just popped on. She's going to be teaching a Canva class from 12 to 1 on Friday. So make sure you tune into that. She'll have full control of my Zoom room and record it and all that kind of stuff too. And then one more thing, I just want to put out a thing for this is Thursday at 9 o'clock. Hang on. Thursday at 9 o'clock, Andy is going to be doing his mindset and market share presentation. That's live on Facebook like normal. That's in the GLG group. And he posted an advertisement for who's going to be the speaker. And it's a woman named Ashley Smith. She is, wait, is it Smith? Is her last name Smith? Does anyone recall? Yeah, Ashley Smith. Okay, she is a agent out of the North Atlanta office, and she's been one of the kind of the most involved folks in the social equity work, right? She is leading the book club. She's been in all the leadership meetings. She's been involved in a bunch of stuff regarding social equity, and she is going to be interviewed by Andy for everyone to see. And it's going to be pretty eye-opening. There's going to be, I would suspect, some potentially some uncomfortable moments. Okay. But that's how we learn. So I'm going to encourage everyone to participate in that. That is Thursday at 9 o'clock. So we're going to hop off this call right at 9 so we can tune into that. Okay. Any questions on any of that? All right. There are two new documents in the Google Drive. One is called Pre-Qualifying Script, Bold 2.0, and the other is called Pre-Listing Package. Okay. I also included both of them in the email from yesterday, attached to yesterday. So when we talk about the pre-listing package is a something that's on the fourth quarter GPS. So again, there's no mandate that you use this, but a lot of top agents are using this, and the goal is to number one, to separate you from your competition, because hardly anybody does it. Okay. Secondly, it is to pre-expose them to a lot of the, I don't want to say fluffery, but like a bit of the fluffery regarding your qualifications and your marketing package and what you do, so that when it's time to meet with them one-on-one, it's all about them, and you don't really have to cover a lot of stuff about you, and that makes them feel good. Okay. And when they feel good, they like to pick up the pen and sign paperwork. Okay. Make sense? So this is kind of the way that I'm going to encourage you to think about this timeline. Okay. The first thing is we are going to set the appointment. Okay. However the appointment is set, we're going to set the appointment. I would say that if the appointment is the next day, then I would jump right into the pre-qualification script. If the appointment is more than a day away, I would probably wait, go ahead and get off the phone and then call back the next day to do this. Okay. You just got to see how the conversation is flowing, but it may work something like, as soon as the appointment is set, if the person is still like kind of you feeling like they're eager to stay on the phone, right, then you can move right into this. If you feel like you need to go do something else and they're kind of distracted, then just part ways and connect again tomorrow. So it would say something like this. Hi, this is Bill Linkwald with Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling to confirm our appointment for Thursday at 2 p.m. Does that time still work for you? Right? So that I can be prepared, which is how you would start, right? Hey, we're going to meet at 2 o'clock on Thursday. Is that right? Yep, that's right. Okay, great. And it's going to be in person, right? Yes. Okay, great. So that I can be more fully prepared for our meeting on Thursday at 2 o'clock, do you have a couple extra minutes now to answer a few questions? Great. When we last spoke, you said you wanted to sell your home and move to Chicago. How soon do you have to be there? If I sell your home in the next 30 days, would that pose a problem for you? Have you looked online to check out prices of other similar homes for sale in your area? If they say yes, you say, were you surprised by what you saw, or the list price is where you expected them to be? Again, you're just testing the waters. You're just kind of seeing how they feel about the market and how they like to be interacted with. Okay. If they say no, you say, well, as a professional real estate agent here in Roswell, I have access to the most accurate recent sales information. Obviously, we'll review that information when we meet so that you can make the best decision when pricing your home. Sound good? Right? That's a tie down. Sound good? What are some of the positive features you'd want buyers to know about your home? Is there anything negative about the home that would affect the sale? Okay. When choosing an agent to represent you, what is most important? In other words, what are you looking for in the person you choose? Right? What do you need to see or hear to help you make your decision? That's a good one. What do you need to see or hear to help you make your decision? Okay. Well, I'll be sending over my seller listing package. Pre-listing package is kind of like the behind the scenes term. Seller listing package is more of like how it might be presented to the public. Okay. Will you take a few moments and review the information before we meet? Yes. Okay, great. So Susan, when we're together on Thursday, if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your house and put the most money in your pocket, are you prepared to get the process started so I can help you and Don and the kids get one step closer to moving to Chicago? Make sense? That's a pre-close basically, right? Whatever they say, you're like, okay. If they say, well, we're going to interview more agents, okay, no big deal. Okay, well, we're not going to sign any paperwork when Thursday. Okay. Yeah, well, you're pretty much the only one we're meeting with. So unless you totally botch it when we're together on Thursday, you'll get the listing. Great, right? No matter what they say, don't fight them. Don't do that. Just say, okay, you're basically testing the waters. You see what I'm saying? Okay, do you have any questions before I arrive? Right? They'll say, oh yeah, have you heard anything about that new strip mall coming in, at the intersection of this and that? Say, I have heard a little bit about that, and I'll make sure I have some more information for you when we meet. Right? Isn't that more helpful than finding out they have a question about something you have no idea about when you're sitting there looking at them right in the face? Right? So if you can get an idea of what is on their mind, then you can go back and do a little research so you don't get surprised and embarrassed. Okay. One last question. Will all the decision makers be there on Thursday? One of the most frustrating things in the world is meeting with the husband when the wife's making the choice, or the other way around, right? Or meeting with the wife and then you got to repeat the whole damn thing to the husband, right? It's annoying and it's a big waste of everyone's time. So ask that question. If one of the spouses isn't available or whatever, then see if there's a time where both of them can get together, or do it on Zoom. Okay. So our meeting will only take about 30 minutes. Will that be okay? Okay. Can you imagine inviting a realtor over to your house? The realtor spends the entire presentation flipping through a book of statistics that you don't care about and talking about how awesome they are, and no one told you how long this is going to last. And you're sitting there saying, how much longer is this guy going to flip through this presentation that I don't care about and talk about himself rather than ask me questions about me? How long am I going to be here? Right? That's not a comfortable place to be. So let them know, not only for your sake, because I don't want to spend 2 hours in a listing appointment. I already figured out if they're crazy by asking them these questions. Now it's just time to ask them some more in their face and get some paperwork signed. I don't need to be there for 2 hours. I don't need to see every little, knob that they installed. I don't want to do that. Okay. Let's get in. Let's build the relationship. Let's see what the place is worth. Let's get the paperwork signed. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. So just so you know, our meeting will only take about 30 to 45 minutes. Will that be okay? Oh, great. Yeah. The kids got to go to bed at 7 anyway. Oh, great. We're going to go have some drinks afterward anyway. Oh, great. I was hoping you wouldn't say this is a 3-hour appointment. My last realtor was in here for 3 hours and showed me a 180-page booklet that had nothing to do with me. Make sense? Okay, great. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday at 2. Make sense? Any questions on that kind of setup? Now you might say to yourself, why is this important? For those that were on the call with Paul yesterday, all a script is, I love the way he answered this question. All a script is making sure that the client can get from point A to point B in the way that makes sense for you, right? I need them to go from here to here, and I need to have them answer certain questions. So I don't want to just ad lib that exchange. I want it to be purposeful, right? First, I need to know this, then I need to know this, then I need to know this. Doesn't make sense to ask question 6 if I don't know the answer to question 3. Make sense? But just so before we go too far, does anyone want to comment on Paul's session yesterday? That was awesome.
No, I just watched that this morning. I got up early because I met Paul last week in the office briefly when I was meeting with Jan.
Yeah.
And, I could just tell he's very young. And I was like, boy, this guy's got something, because first of all, the smile on his face is just like, it's enough to just it pulls you in.
Yeah.
And so I got up early this morning. I was listening to his call before I got on this call, and it was really good. It was it's worth listening to. For such a young person, my family's been in sales for a long time, and he's got some magic that it takes people who are twice his age still don't have that. He's really, really good. Yeah. He's good on the phones. He's really, really good. He's very mature.
He is. He has got just like this contagious smile. And when you smile like that, the person on the other side of the phone can feel it, right? There's no doubt that person loves what he does for a living, and that the experience that you have working with him and buying or selling or whatever is going to be a lot of fun. Don't people like moving is hard. Moving is a big pain, right? Can we make it as fun as possible? Is that something you guys would like to do? Let's have some fun, guys. Know what I'm saying? Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Tawanta's call is very good too. If nobody's seen it yet, her interview, she's very motivating as well. That's a really good interview.
Thank you for saying that. I agree. I sometimes, I think this is appropriate for each of us in the work we do, is go back and listen to ourselves speak, right? Go listen to your presentation, and you go listen to your phone call and see how you could have improved it, right? So sometimes I'm going back and listening to some of the stuff that I've done, and I've listened to the interview with Twantis like 4 times. I just think it was good. She had a lot of great ideas to say. I think I did my part. We're all trying to get better. So thank you so much for mentioning both of those, Kim. Thank you. All right, let's end on this. This is the pre-listing package, okay? This is basically you can think of it like a pre-listing appointment, okay? This is a grouping of material that you could either send via email ahead of time, or what could be even cooler is if you deliver it or have it delivered, right? So imagine you get off the telephone with a great hot listing lead, and you say, hey, I'm going to be sending over my seller listing package. You should get it by tomorrow morning. Just check your front doorstep. And you've got like a little, cute little binder or, gift box or something like that. And you've got some materials inside, maybe even with a little bow, like do something unique, right? And it talks about you and how this process will work. I mean, you could either drop it off yourself. You could have somebody on your team do it. You could hire an Uber guy to go do it. Bring the Uber to your house and say, hey, take this to this house. Tell me how much you want, 10 bucks, whatever. Does it make sense? So you can deliver it in a number of different ways. If you set the appointment for like that night, which I don't really like that idea personally, just because number one, you have a hard time preparing properly. Number two, it's hard to get the pre-listing package to them and give them time to digest it. And number three, it trains them that you'll jump at as soon as they say go. Hey, can you get over here in like 2 hours? No, I'm going home. I'll see you tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to train our people to think that we are, I'm not saying don't be urgent. Please don't hear that. But you need to be aware of the what's the word I'm looking for? The image that you're giving to your people. Oh, I answer the phone every time it's picked up. Oh, the one time you're in the bathroom and don't answer the phone, they're like, yeah, the guy never answers his phone. You see what I'm saying? Don't answer your phone in the bathroom. Just leave the phone outside. Okay. Pre-listing package. It should include the following. Okay, a resume and your unique selling proposition. What sets you apart? John, you don't have to answer this right now, but why are you different than the other 4 agents that they met at the other open houses that day? How is your unique background and the things that you love about the process and your passions, how will that give them an experience that is superior to the experience they could get with just the average Joe realtor, right? Questions to ask other agents if they happen to be interviewing other agents. Okay, these are I can try to compile some of these documents for you, but you could Google these and get them real fast. They're also all over the internet. Market statistics. So these might be a couple of statistics from Chartmasters, a couple slides that say maybe Keller Williams sells more homes in the area than anyone else. They sell almost 30% of each other's listings. They are the #1 in market share, right? That here's what happens if you price your home correctly. This is how many days you'll be on the market versus if you have to reduce the price, and what percentage of list price to sales price ratio you get in both of those scenarios. It also might say something to the effect of different price ranges and what the data is. You want to be careful that you don't say, hey, your home's going to sell for multiple offers, like you hardly have to do any marketing at all, right? Because then they'll be like, maybe I won't pay 6%. Follow me? So you want to make sure you include some good and some, potentially negative news in there as well. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, the weathermen don't not report when it's supposed to snow or rain. They just tell you what it is. Okay. 47 ways to make your home sell faster. Okay. I believe that document is in the Google Drive. That's just basically a document on staging and curb appeal, cutting your bushes and, edging and, moving out a bunch of clutter and that kind of stuff. What clients say about us, have testimonials with names and numbers. If you're new to the business, I'm sure you've done work with people in the past that have had great things to say about you. Even if they happen to be in another industry, that's acceptable. Hey, Christy's, super responsive. She made sure to answer all my questions about when we were working together for, you don't have to say insurance, but let's say, hey, she was, super punctual, and she was very thorough in explaining the paperwork, and we had a lot of fun working together. I'll definitely use her in the future, right? It doesn't have to be about real estate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So you probably have LinkedIn reviews, or you have people that have sent you thank you notes and these kind of things. Just, you can use that stuff. Okay. Meet the team. By the way, the team could be your team leader, your productivity coach, right? Your accountability partner, your closing attorney, your lender, your home inspector, right? It doesn't have to be like your full-time in-house assistant or your buyer's agent or something like that. So you can do a little bio on those people, right? My sidekick for loans is Kathy Vitale. She's been in the business for 35 years. She's got a wide array of mortgage products available, and she's ready to answer any questions that you have. If I'm having any issue whatsoever in the financing world, we're going to fix this thing together. Make sense? Every home we've sold, I think this is a little much, but every home we've sold in the last 5 years, right? What you should be showing them ideally is homes that kind of look like theirs, right? So if you happen to be in front of a luxury client and they've got a big pool with detached garage and gated community and huge backyard, and it's a multi-million-dollar house, then see if somebody in our office has sold homes like that, right? Here's some homes that our office has sold, right? These are people that I'm in relationship with, right? If they've got a little 1-1 condo in Decatur, have a couple pictures of some 1-1 condos in that area. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to have a bunch of single family homes and then you go in to a condo seller and they're like, wait, has this person ever done any business of a similar home, right? Property disclosures. So this is a good litmus test, if you will. So you include like maybe the seller's property disclosure, the community association disclosure, and if applicable, the lead-based paint disclosure. Okay, lead-based paint is for homes that were built prior to 1978. If it's built after 1978, many people will say you don't need it. But it is, just so you know, it is not technically, Kathy, you might correct me if I'm wrong. I've actually heard conflicting information about this. But let's say you have like an antique like armoire or something like that hasn't been paid in since 1978, even though it's not physically the home, that could present issues if it's like up against a wall or something like that. Like more often than not, I just include the lead-based paint anyway, even if it was not built prior to 1978. Okay. So if you get to the house and they have already filled some of this stuff out, ooh, this is going to be my next client. Right.
Bill?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, John.
A quick question. Where can I find blank seller disclosures and community?
You can download those from DocuSign within Command, or you can download those from the FMLS site, fmls.com.
Thank you.
Forms. Okay.
Our docs.
RDocs. I'm sorry.
in
You're right.
FMLS.
Forms is like where the notice to closing is. RDocs. You're right.
Thank you both.
I think I put this twice on here. What to ask if you're interviewing other agents. I'll fix that. A checklist for when we meet. This is another test to see how interested in working together they are with you, right? Extra key for your house. If you walk in, they're like, here's the key. You're like, here's the paperwork, right? A completed seller's disclosure statement, description of your home with all the items you'd like to have featured in your color brochure, right? So if they spent a bunch of money on this fancy, countertop so their wife could do, makeup and, and whatever, if they take pride in something special that they did in the home, you want to take pride in that also, right? So find out what they value the most about their home, what they love about their home. Any surveys or information, improvement location certificates if they got if they did an addition or something like that you might have to pay for or not pay for, but you might have to provide some type of documentation showing that they got permits and all that stuff. Do not include your full marketing presentation. I think it's okay to say stuff like, this is what we do on social media. We do retargeting, we do geofencing and these kind of things, but you don't want to say day 1, do this, day 3, do this, day 7, do this. They'll just take that and go do it themselves, right? So you want to find a blend of helping them understand that you're thorough and you are up to date on all the newest technology and services, yet not explain every fine detail so that they just rip it off, Any questions on that? There are some examples of pre-listing packages in, and I'll make a note to try to compile some of that. Hang on. Throughout some KW Facebook groups, but I know of a couple in particular that are really good. This is your opportunity to, show what you do, like make it modern looking, make it colorful, make it, check for, spacing errors and capitalization errors, like you're on stage here. Okay. Any questions? Okay. My advice is to go into your fourth quarter GPS and basically say, my pre-listing package will be complete by. I don't care if you say 3 days from now or 3 months from now. Just make a commitment to you and your family and to the future of your business and to the sellers that you soon will serve, that this is a part of the process you take seriously. Okay. I've asked this question to a couple of you guys privately, and I generally will ask it when I know, based on the fact that they told me, that their schedule is just a hot mess, right? So if somebody were to follow you, or if Gary Keller were to follow you around today, would he know that you're a professional realtor? Would he be impressed with how you spent your time? Would he be able to say, oh, this is when she's following up with her prospective clients? This is when she's learning how to be a better agent. This is when she's taking a couple minutes out of her day and making sure she's up to speed on new listings in the marketplace. This is when she puts her headset on and prospects. This is when she journals at the end of the day saying what she did well and what she didn't do well, right? Or would Gary Keller look at you and be like, what in the hell is going on here? No judgment. I won't ask you to answer that question publicly, but is there, if you're not saying, hey, I would be proud to have Gary Keller hang out with me all day, then how can you make it a better situation before tomorrow, right? Is there one little thing that you can do that would make you more impressive today? Make sense? I have a woman that works in Athens that we shared some business with a number of years ago. John, who is Gary's son, went to UGA and studied architecture design. And so obviously they bought a place in Athens at the time. Well, maybe not obviously, but they did. And right around the time I met this woman, I sent her a referral, and she was telling me that she was Gary's son's agent. So Gary flew to Athens, and she was the agent and basically drove Gary and his son around showing them properties in Athens. Would you feel you're ready for something like that? See what I'm saying?
Just have to clean my car out.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. But think about this. All right, I'm going to end on this thought. Let's say, for example, I've asked this question of you guys before, like, who's your biggest competition, right? And your typical agent will say, oh, it's this other agent, right? Oh, it's Mark Spain or whatever, right? Or some people will think it's a trick question. And they'll say, oh, it's myself, which is a good answer. That's not where I'm headed. I would say that your biggest competition is Amazon or Google or the Ritz-Carlton, right? Or the Four Seasons, right? Imagine that I booked this appointment with a seller, and then they're like, oh, well, it's going to be in a week and a half because I'm going to Colorado for a week. Okay, great. I'll see you in a week and a half. So they go to Colorado and they're staying at the Ritz and they're getting waited on hand and foot. And anytime they're thirsty, there's a cup of water there. When they pull up to the hotel check-in thing, they've already got oh, this guy loves this type of coffee. Hey, Mr. Natchke, here's your favorite cup of coffee. You get up into your room, there's already a picture of your family in a picture on the nightstand, right? If you've ever gone to the Ritz, like, this is the kind of service that they give you, okay? And you're waited on hand and foot all week. Then you come back home and you show up at their house to list their home, right? they're used to hitting a button and having something delivered to their house in a day, right? They're used to saying, oh my gosh, I don't know the answer to this. Let me pop it in Google, and they get their answer like that. They're used to getting waited on hand and foot because that's the way you build businesses now. And then you show up at the home. Are they going to be impressed with your level of professionalism? With how quickly you get answers to their questions? With the way you're dressed or the way you speak? Does that make sense? Y'all hear that? Any thoughts, ideas, comments on that idea?
I think that's a great way to see to try to be being there for them before they know they need something.
Right. It's surprise and delight all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Literally. You know, you come off the slopes, they're like, ah, here's your cup of coffee. Right. All right, guys, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you at 1 o'clock for the launch mastermind. Let's all support Robin. She's going to be running the team meeting today. And please don't forget to come on time to your one-on-ones. I got one-on-ones with Marie and Markia and Heather Fowler and Heather Mueller today, who are on the phone. So y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bill. So long, everybody.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.